Is this Alicia? Who the heck do you think you are? I'm not going to let you get away with this. Pardon me? I'm sorry, but who are you? Brianna Moore. You're seeing Jonathan Moore, right? I'm his wife. Pardon me? Jonathan's wife? That's right. You're sleeping with my husband. That's adultery. You know what that means, right? Adultery? This is all a little sudden, isn't it? Jonathan is my husband. You're trying to steal a married man. Don't play dumb with me. I'm not trying to play dumb with you. But to accuse me of something like this so suddenly, I really don't understand. You must be pretty stupid then. Let me explain things to you one more time. You're dating Jonathan. I'm his wife. He's my husband. If you don't believe me, why don't you just ask Jonathan? Jonathan was quite surprised when I told him I knew too. But he came clean once I told him I knew. There was no denying it. I see. In fact, Jonathan just messaged me about this right now too. Of course. He told you his wife found out, didn't he? Yeah, that's what he said. So, you know what you've done, right? Well, that's what he said, but... Sleeping with another woman's husband? You're trying to take my man. So I'm going to get even with you. Get even with me? Before doing anything like that, I think you should know that I wasn't even seeing your husband like that. What? Don't give me that. Do you mean you've stopped sleeping with him? Surely you could come up with a better lie than that. We just started contacting each other recently. We've met up a number of times, but it was only as friends. I wouldn't say we were even dating. The agreement was to meet as friends first. Maybe he thought it was more than that, but... You've been contacting him through text messages, right? I've read through your whole chat history. It's pretty obvious to me that you two are cheating. I've read the proof. Don't try to deny it. Maybe he calls it seeing each other, but only in the literal sense of the word. Like I said, we've met up, but it was only to go out for a drink or to watch a movie. And I had no idea that he had a wife. I'm not interested in whether you thought he had a wife or not. You're lucky I haven't called my lawyer yet. You'd better be willing to pay me, though, or else I will take you to court. You know I could sue you for compensation money because of this. What? Sue me for compensation money? Of course. You slept with my husband. I can sue you for that. That's the risk you take when you knowingly sleep with someone who's married. You knew that, didn't you? You keep saying sleeping with, though. I told you I wasn't even dating him. And the fact that he was married? I had no idea. You can't prove that. And all those lovey-dovey messages you two were sending each other? It's obvious what you were doing. Lovey-dovey messages? That never happened. And besides, I met your husband from a dating app. It wasn't an app for meeting up or one-night stands either. It was on an app for people looking for marriage partners. So if a married man signs up for an app looking for people who want to get married, why would anyone assume they're already married? I don't know what you're talking about, and I don't care about any of that anyway. You'd better pay me my money. After all, you slept with my husband. It's only obvious you'd have to pay compensation money if you did something like that. It affects more than just you. Think about how I feel about this. Regardless of that, your husband joined a dating app out of his own free will. He wrote that he was single and looking for a wife. That's the only reason I started contacting him in the first place. Anything that happens after that, I can't be held accountable for his actions. Stop trying to make excuses. I don't care what you say. Jonathan is a married man, and you started seeing him. You can't talk your way out of this. Jonathan has already confessed to it. You'll just have to accept it. He confessed to what? Meeting me and having a drink? Meeting me and watching a movie? That's all we've ever done. Did Jonathan say any more than that? Yes, he did. He said he cheated on me with you. He's admitted to it. So I'm gonna make you pay me compensation money. What you're saying is absurd. If you're not going to pay me now, then I'll just sue you and get the money from you in court. You're going to sue me. That's right. You're saying you're not going to pay me. That means you're trying to run from this. So I'll just take you to court instead. Just calm down a bit. I didn't sleep with Jonathan. And I didn't know he was married anyway. I've explained this, haven't I? Shut up. If you don't want me to sue you for this, you'd better just pay me directly. Are you threatening me? What? Threatening? Yeah, you're threatening me. You're trying to scare me into giving you money, aren't you? Threatening is a bit of an exaggeration. I have every right to get compensation money from you. I'm just requesting it from you. And I'm answering all of your questions about this. If you're saying that Jonathan is having an affair with me, when I know we've never done anything, what are you basing this on? It's obvious from your chat history. Give me an example of what I said that shows I'm sleeping with him. You were asking him things like what day and time you two should meet up. Things like that. Oh, so basic things that any two people would commonly ask each other. Shut up. Are you saying you're not going to pay me compensation money? You're saying you want me to take you to court. You want to pay all the lawyer fees on top of the compensation money. I'm serious about this. What do you mean you're serious about it? I'm not going to let a woman get away with this. Not for trying to steal my husband. I'll never forgive you. Not till I get what you owe me. Pay me. If you don't, I'll even call your company and tell everyone you work with what kind of person you are. So basically, you're threatening me, aren't you? Just shut up and pay me. Do you want to be sued? If you want to sue me, go ahead and sue me. Huh? So you're gonna be like this, huh? I know you work for a good company, Jonathan told me. So you want to get fired over all this? If you just pay me the compensation money, we could settle this out of court, and I wouldn't have to make trouble for you at your office. Well, if you're trying to do this, doesn't that mean Jonathan would get fired too? What? Jonathan get fired? What are you talking about? Well, if you think I can get fired for it, why wouldn't he? I know what you're doing here. You and Jonathan. You're both just trying to get money from me, aren't you? What do you mean? You told your husband to register for the dating app. I bet you told him if he finds a good woman with money, that he should try to have an affair with her. And you'd try to get compensation money from her for doing it. That's what's going on here, isn't it? That's not it at all. Jonathan went and had an affair on his own. I had nothing to do with it. And I'm not forgiving him either. And I'm definitely not forgiving you. I see what's going on. Okay, those messages you sent to me, the ones where you were threatening me to get me to pay you, I'm gonna go show them to the police and see what they have to say about it. What? The cops? Why? I told you we could settle this out of court. The fact that you're so eager to settle this out of court, it seems a bit too fishy for me. You guys are running a con here, aren't you? You're trying to get money. Your whole aim is to get compensation money from people. You're using the dating app to find potential victims, aren't you? We wouldn't do anything like that. Look, I don't know what you're talking about, so let's just get this matter settled outside of court. We can do this in cash, so let's start discussing an appropriate amount. You know you're in the wrong here, so just accept it and give in. I'm not giving in. I didn't sleep with your husband. That wasn't the reason I met with him in the first place. We've never gone that far. And yet you try to threaten me by telling me I did something that I know I didn't do? You guys are scaring me now with taking things this far. So I'm going to the police and filing a report. What? You're reporting me? Stop messing around. Filing a report is only going to be bad for you, isn't it? And I'm sure it's going to get you fired, too. What? My company won't fire me for something like this. Besides, none of this is my fault anyway. I've done nothing wrong. How can you be so sure of that? That's a stupid question. I know if I've slept with someone or not. That's how I'm so sure of it. I know you're just trying to scam me. What? This isn't a scam. I thought everything was a little bit suspicious. Jonathan seemed a bit too pushy with everything. Luckily, I kept refusing to go any further than I did. Oh, and he kept wanting to take pictures of us together, too. Everywhere we went, he wanted to take pictures of it. And he tried to make sure I was in all of his selfies. If you read our messages, you'll see. He tried to make everything sound really intimate, no matter how small it was. And clearly, you could see my messages didn't have that tone at all. Not to mention how often he messaged me for no reason whatsoever. Now that I think about it, it's obvious he was trying to make it look like we were more than we really were. I guess he was desperate to make it look like that. I have no idea what you're talking about right now. Stop acting like this. Do you have any idea how I feel being cheated on? Honestly, I don't, but either way, I wasn't sleeping with your husband. So you've got nothing to worry about. Shut up. Just pay me my money. If you just pay me the money, we can end this all right here. I'll send Jonathan over to pick up the money from you tomorrow. Just pay me $1,000. That's pretty darn cheap for compensation money, don't you think? I wouldn't know about that. But I plan on going to the police about this anyway. If you keep messaging me trying to get me to pay, you'll just be wasting your time. I'm not doing anything until the police have looked into this. Why are you going to the police? I have every right to get compensation money from you. I'm only requesting that you pay me what I deserve. What right are you talking about? It's my right. Because you slept with my husband. I can sue you for that. I'm supposed to get money. I'm not doing anything wrong. You're supposed to pay me. I'm not threatening you. If I don't ask you to pay me the money, how else am I supposed to get you to pay it? Well, maybe if you had some proof? You could prove it to a lawyer or judge and get the money the legal way. But you're telling me that I slept with Jonathan when I know I didn't? And like I said, even if I had no idea he was married. So you wouldn't be awarded any money. I met him on a dating app for people looking for marriage partners, and he told me he wasn't married. So even if I had slept with him, you'd lose in court. And on top of that, I can prove everything I've said. You can't prove any of your outrageous claims. So I have no obligation to pay anyone any compensation money. What? Is that how it works? Yes. But I'm still gonna report this to the police, because I'm pretty sure you're trying to pull a scam right now. So, you'd better get ready for a police investigation. Wait, just hold on. I get it. I guess you legally don't have to pay me? I didn't know that. I misunderstood the law. Huh? It seems Jonathan feels really bad about what happened here, too. I guess I can forgive you this time. You didn't know he was married. I won't make you pay me anything. No, it's no problem. You don't have to apologize to me. You can explain everything to the police. What are you talking about? I told you I'm going to let this go. You don't have to pay me. I'm admitting I was wrong. Let's just be adults about this and let it go. It was just a big misunderstanding. This whole conversation is going to be proof of your threats and scheme to get money from me. So I'm just going to take it to the police and let them decide what they want to do. Please, don't do that. I told you the issue is resolved. You don't need to do anything rash. I understand I was wrong. You don't have to pay me. Let's just end it here. Huh? I'm sorry, but I don't know what you're talking about. You were obviously trying to pull a scam. I'm gonna report it to the police. It's the right thing to do. Why do you have to take it that far? I told you I made a mistake. I'm sorry. Well, you've already taken it this far with me. So there's a good chance you've done this before. You've probably threatened, scammed, and stole from other people in the past. I've never done anything like that. Please tell Jonathan not to use dating apps as ways to try to scam or hurt innocent people. Please, just wait. I'll tell Jonathan that. None of that has anything to do with me, though. It was all him. You've already told me your full name, and I have your contact info now that you've messaged me. So I'll be sure to give all of that to the police as well. And Jonathan's picture was clear on his profile, and I've already taken a screenshot of it. and where he states on his profile that he's unmarried and looking for a marriage partner. So the police should have no problem finding the correct guy and verifying your scam. I'm sorry for what we did. We'll never do anything like this again. So please don't go to the police. I'm begging you. I never wanted to do anything bad. You didn't want to do anything bad, yet you deliberately tried to scam someone? Oh, that's just scary. I'm so sorry. You can apologize all you want. At this point, I'm not going to let this go. You tried to scare someone into giving you money. So I'm afraid you're going to have to pay the consequences. You and your lovely husband. After that, Alicia went to the police and told them what happened. They advised her to file an official police report so they could investigate further and possibly charge the couple. After filing the report, the police started their investigation. They found out that Mr. and Mrs. Moore had done this same scam on a few other people. It turns out some of the people actually did end up paying them money. The police arrested Jonathan and Brianna Moore, and enough evidence was gathered to build a good case against the couple. After being taken to court for their crimes, the Moores were forced to pay back all the money they had taken from their other victims, as well as many additional fines for their actions. In the end, they ended up having to pay back a lot more money than they ever made from their scams. I guess it really shows that crime just doesn't pay.
Arnold, we need to talk.
Huh? What is it, Ruth? Don't you know I'm working right now? If you need something, wait until I get back home or at least until lunch. Anyway, I need to get back to work. I'll talk to you later.
Oh, really? So, hanging out at a hotel with an 18-year-old coworker is what you consider work, is it? Interesting.
Excuse me?
Karen Bishop, 18. You know, the girl you hired to be your receptionist? And here I thought that you were just cheating on me during business hours under the guise of visiting customers. But good to know that you're just busy working.
Well, looks like you've caught me.
You weren't exactly trying to hide it, were you?
It wasn't that bad.
Sure. Anyway, I've submitted the divorce documents, just like I told you I would from the beginning.
What? How could you have submitted the documents already? I don't remember signing anything. You can't just do that without my consent.
Give me a break. Did you forget already?
Forget what?
I told you already. Back when I forgave you the first time, I said I wouldn't forgive you a second time.
I vaguely remember something like that.
I got all the documents ready ages ago. And I told you that I would submit them the very instant you cheated again.
Well, still, let's not do anything rash.
Did you think I would forget? Or that I would cool off with some time or something? Well, think again. I'm through with you. And you better believe I'll be taking you to the cleaners in court. Buckle up.
Ugh, are you kidding me? Now Karen dumped me too because of you. And my savings are wiped out. I'm probably even gonna be fired. Are you happy? Don't you even feel bad a little?
I like to think that I'm a nice enough person, but my heart isn't big enough to spare any sympathy for cheating dirtbags like you.
You can't just blame me. Maybe if you were able to get pregnant, this wouldn't have happened.
Excuse me? What did you just say to me?
We've been married 4 years, Ruth. 4 years, and you still haven't gotten pregnant. What am I supposed to think, except that you've got something wrong with you? My parents want to be able to hold their grandchild someday, before they kick the bucket, you know? And then Karen showed up, young and healthy.
Are you saying you were going to try and get that girl pregnant?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Good Lord. What is the matter with you?
Nothing's the matter with me. I'm taking my life seriously over here, and I'm ready to be a father. Karen is young, and she's got good hips. She wouldn't have had any trouble giving me a kid. But now she's gone too, all because of you.
Oh, right. You didn't tell her that you were married. She left you because she realized you're a lying piece of garbage, same as I did.
No, I was gonna tell her.
Oh, save it. And by the way, I'm sick to death of seeing your mopey sad sack face around my house. Find yourself a motel or a cabin or a tent or I don't care what. Just find something and get out and take all your crap with you. Like as soon as possible. I want you gone yesterday. Whoever heard of a disgraced ex just hanging around haunting the place like a ghost? God help me.
I'm sorry, what? I have no idea what you're smoking, but I'm not going anywhere. If anyone's gotta go, it's you.
Oh yeah?
Here I was wondering when you were planning to clean out. This was my house from the beginning. My parents bought it before I was even born. Any reasonable person would see that I'm the only one who has any right to be here.
Are you being serious right now?
Of course. I'm dead serious. Ah, I get it. Your parents moved to Canada. You've got nowhere to go, right? Aw, poor Ruth. Why didn't you just say so? Well, what should we do? I tell you what. I guess I can let you stay in the house if you get on your knees and beg me to put a baby in you. If you can give me a kid, I'll let you stay here as long as you want. Ah, but what am I thinking? You can't even have children. Instead, you're just like this curse I've been stuck with when all I want to do is give my parents a grandchild to play with like a proper adult. I guess what I'm trying to say is, get out of my house.
You know, actually, you're the one who doesn't have anywhere to go.
Oh yeah? How's that?
You remember the last time I caught you cheating? That was back when your parents were just about finished getting ready to move out to Kansas. Just 2 months before that, actually, if memory serves.
Okay. And your point is?
So, we had a chat back then about whose name should go on the deed. Unlike you, apparently, your parents actually felt bad about what you did, so they ended up putting the house in my name instead of yours.
What? Is that true?
Of course. Look for yourself.
Actually, you know what? I think I just remembered.
Oh, how convenient. Anyway, like I said, I want you out immediately.
But I've lived in this house my whole life. I grew up here.
Wait, are you crying? Is that sobbing I hear coming from your room?
No! I just hit my knee on something! I'm not crying! I just don't understand how this could happen.
What do you mean? You brought all of this on yourself.
Hey, Ruth. It's me, Arnie.
Oh,
I can't believe it's already been 3 whole years.
I can't believe I forgot to block you. Bye!
Wait, hold on. Why didn't you tell me that we have a kid?
What? We don't.
You're sticking with that story, huh? I saw you. You were holding a little girl around 2 years old and she called you Mom. If she's about 2, that means she would have been conceived right around the time that we split up, right?
I think you must have seen someone else. I don't have a 2-year-old kid.
Yeah, sure you don't. So, what do you say? Let's get remarried.
Are you out of your mind?
Come on. I know it must be tough being a single mother.
I'm sure it is, but I don't have a kid, so I wouldn't know personally. Plus, I'm married.
Oh, you mean you still consider us married? I guess that works out just the same.
What? Gross! No!
Anyway, I'll head over to the house right away. See you soon.
What? No, don't come to my house! There's absolutely no way I would ever get back together with you!
Honey, I'm home. I've been ringing the doorbell for like 5 minutes. Open the door. The lights are on so I know you're home.
Oh God. Did you actually come?
Of course! We shouldn't waste any time getting things going again.
I told you not to come here, you psycho! Although, come to think of it, the doorbell hasn't rung at all.
Yes it has. I can hear it from outside. It's definitely ringing. I wonder if your excitement for our big reunion has struck you completely senseless. Or don't tell me, you're so flustered with excitement that you can't even come to the door? What's happened to you? You've gotten so cute these past 3 years. Oh man, tonight is going to be something else. I can feel it.
Please keep your disgusting fantasies to yourself. Anyway, the doorbell hasn't rung at all, and my husband just hit the front porch, and there's no one there.
Huh? Husband?
I told you before, you freak! I'm already married!
What the heck? Are you telling me that you let some other guy into your home to live with my child? You really need to think this through, honey. If you do that, our kid can never know what it feels like to be hugged by both of her parents at the same time. You need to divorce him right away.
I told you, we don't have a kid together!
You can't lie to me. I told you already, I saw you with her.
Okay, hold on a second.
Why?
I just got a message from my sister. It looks like an emergency.
Okay.
Okay, I'm back.
Finally! What the heck were you doing?
Hey, idiot! Are you at the house we lived in when we were married?
Of course. Where else would I be? You still live there, don't you?
No. Your brother lives there with his wife, dummy.
What? Chris?
Wow. Oh, so you really haven't talked with your brother at all since he graduated high school and left home?
Of course not. He stole a bunch of stuff from the house to sell for drugs or something and disappeared in the middle of the night.
Whatever, I don't actually care. Right after we got divorced, he showed up at the house saying that he had been to rehab and had straightened his life out.
Okay.
And there's more. He just so happened to also be engaged to Caroline.
Your sister? How did that happen?
I guess he just happened to get hired at the same company as her. They hit it off and started talking and hanging out without realizing the two of us had been married. Of course, they figured it out eventually.
Weird.
Anyway, Caroline ended up getting pregnant around when we got divorced. And my company arranged for me to transfer to a different location. So anyway, we got to talking and I ended up renting them the house after I moved. So the two of them have been living there ever since.
So, wait. What you're saying is...
Yeah, that was Caroline that you saw. Not me. And the kid that she had is your... well, I guess both of our niece. Because our siblings are married to each other.
So that means that the people inside the house I'm at are... Chris and Caroline?
Well, Caroline at least. It seems your brother is on his way home from work.
Oh, I see. I guess that's lucky at least. All I really remember about Chris is that he was really scary. I don't really want to see him.
By the way, they know all about why we got divorced already. And I already told Caroline what is going on and who it is standing outside her house ringing the doorbell repeatedly and scaring her kid. And she told Chris. So it sounds like he's on his way home as fast as he can.
Oh crap.
I would guess he should be there any second now.
Oh crap, he's gonna kill me!
Get away from the house first! Well, at least it's insured.
Ruth, help me!
What do you want now?
I'm so screwed right now.
Yeah, your whole life is screwed. I'm surprised you still have time to bother me.
Wait, what do you know?
Your brother told me what you said to him yesterday. You started stalking that Karen girl after I divorced you and she dumped you. And then she eventually started dating someone else and they eventually got married. And then you crashed the wedding drunk and caused a big scene. Apparently you owe about $10,000 in damages. And that's just in fines and wedding fees and whatever else that the judge ordered you to pay. Nice going.
Ugh. I can't believe he told you all that. That was private.
Of course he told me. You've caused so much trouble in my life already, I deserve to know.
Well, if you know all about it anyway, then I don't need to explain anything. You've got to help me.
Why should I?
How about because it's a woman's job to support her husband? Or what about just common decency?
I've told you several times that you aren't my husband. I'm married to someone else. And don't make me puke talking about decency. I'm doing enough of that already, and I need to be extra careful with my condition right now. It's a delicate time.
Huh?
I'm going to have a baby.
Huh?
With my husband Peter, of course.
Hold on. I thought you couldn't have children.
No one ever said that except you, because you're a piece of crap.
But wait. How come you never got pregnant then if you're able? We were married for 4 years.
Well, it's true I never got pregnant.
See, I knew it. So you admit that you're lying.
Why don't you ask your brother if I'm lying? He's with you now, isn't he? He's known that I'm pregnant for weeks now.
Hold on. He says it's been about 10 weeks.
That's right. Anyway, back to what I was saying. I had tons of examinations and fertility tests while we were married. They all came back totally okay. I'm perfectly fertile.
So what was the deal then? Were you avoiding it back when we were married?
I wasn't avoiding it. Why don't you think about that for a bit and figure out for yourself what the deal was? Anyway, enough about that. Chris told me that you're going to start working at his old construction company tomorrow.
Ugh, he told you that too?
Apparently, you can't stalk someone properly while also holding down a proper job. But now that you're done stalking and have a debt to society to repay, you can finally get back to the workforce. Good for you!
Hey, it's nothing to laugh at. That place is no joke. Apparently, that's where he worked when he was living in a halfway house and getting straight. He says the work beat all his vices out of him. I seriously don't know how long I can last somewhere like that.
I have no idea what you expect me to do about it.
Come on!
Anyway, I ought to get going. Stress isn't good for the baby.
Please wait. Don't go.
Good luck with all that, Arnold.
No! Hold on! Please don't abandon me!
I had never heard of the company that Arnold went to work for, but apparently the name is pretty well known among those in the industry. And my brother-in-law seemed confident that if we left Arnold there, they could probably make something useful out of him, which put me at ease. It's also really far away from my current house, which puts me even more at ease. At this point in my life, it's best not to have any shred of stress if I can help it. Arnold was packed up into a black wagon and carted off to some kind of dorm or something for the term of his employment. I heard he was kicking and screaming the whole way there. But I guess he piped down at least a little as soon as the van finally pulled up to the worksite. By all accounts, he's got a fairly difficult life out there, surrounded by all his hardened new co-workers. But he's still surviving and paying off his debts little by little each month. We can still only just hope that he'll leave the company as a decent human being.